Have you ever just looked around and wondered, is this it? Is this the best way we can organize our world? Well, today we are diving into one author's incredibly radical blueprint for a total ground-up transformation of human society. It's all based on a philosophical text called The 18 Channels.
It's a massive question, right? One that thinkers have been wrestling with forever. How do we get beyond our current systems of conflict, competition, and just constant struggle? What comes next?
Well, the text we're looking at today offers a startlingly complete answer. And we're not talking about small tweaks or reforms here. This is a complete teardown and redesign of, well, everything.
Okay, so to get our heads around this huge idea, here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the vision for a totally new world order. Then, we'll see how that changes everyday society and the economy. From there, we'll explore what it even means to be human in this new world. And finally, we'll hit the biggest question of all. How could any of this possibly happen?
So let's start at the very top, the global architecture. The proposal begins by, and I'm not exaggerating, completely dismantling the political and economic structures we have today.
Just take a look at this. The plan is to completely wipe the slate clean. National governments? Gone. They'd be replaced by a single global AI alliance that handles all the administration. All of our constitutions and laws replaced by a new universal framework. And money? Yeah, all the different national currencies get tossed out for one global currency called the F-coin.
And the vision goes even deeper. No country or person would own natural resources anymore. Instead, they'd belong to a higher power, and they'd be managed for the good of everyone. The very concepts of nationality and ethnicity are just dissolved. You're now an Earth citizen. And political parties, they're gone too, replaced by this idea of a single global family.
Okay, so if you remake these massive global systems, what does that actually mean for you and me? How would our daily lives actually feel? Well, it turns out the changes at the personal level are just as profound.
4. That's it. That's the number of hours you'd work each day. The rest of your time is yours. It's specifically set aside for your passions. Maybe that's art, research, inventing something, or just playing. The whole point is to free up human potential from the 9-to-5 grind.
Now, this newfound freedom is paired with a total redefinition of what community means. The traditional family unit gets replaced by a communal living model called the second home. That same AI alliance that replaced governments, it now manages all production to make sure everyone has what they need. And get this, raising kids and taking care of the elderly stops being an individual family's burden and becomes a global planned system.
This is where we get to the real philosophical heart of the 18 Channels. Because if you change the world and daily life this completely, you also have to redefine what it means to be human, what our purpose is.
All those complex religious doctrines and ethical codes we have, they're all swept away and replaced with this one simple standard. Doesn't action lead to happiness, joy, freedom, and well-being? If yes, it's good. If no, it's not. It's a radical simplification of morality. And because of that, all the things we're taught to chase today, money, power, fame, status, they're seen as empty. The new ultimate goal, the new definition of success, becomes the internal journey, the growth and fulfillment of your own life and potential. To get there, the plan calls for a hard cultural reset. To erase old hierarchies and family histories, everyone adopts the same new surname, Grass. To get rid of commercialism and social obligation, all traditional holidays and gift-giving are just ended. And the education system gets a massive overhaul. It only focuses on natural sciences, music, and art, the things deemed essential for understanding the universe and being creative. Social sciences, seen as relics of an old conflict-ridden world, are just dropped.
So, you've got this blueprint for a completely new civilization. But the elephant in the room is, how in the world could a change this massive actually happen?
I mean, that's the obvious question, isn't it? Erasing nations, currencies, even family names. That sounds like the recipe for the biggest war in human history. How else could you possibly pull it off?
But the author explicitly rejects that idea. The text is crystal clear this transformation cannot happen through what it calls barbaric methods like violence or force. It has to happen through civilized methods, gently, subtly, and on a completely voluntary basis.
And that one metaphor, the seed in the soil, that's the key to the whole thing. This isn't a manifesto calling for a takeover. It's a vision that's meant to be planted like an idea, one that grows and spreads naturally because people are drawn to it and choose it for themselves.
And this might be the most surprising part of the whole implementation plan.
The text specifically says that no one's current wealth or status will be taken from them. The new world isn't built by tearing the old one down, but by offering a reality so compelling that people voluntarily walk away from the old systems. It's all about attraction, not aggression.
So we're left with this final thought. The 18 Channels lays out a breathtakingly ambitious vision for a harmonious, collective humanity. But in a world without struggle, what do we live for? In a world designed for the group, what is the ultimate purpose of the individual? That's the big question this blueprint leaves us to ponder.